Welcome to Summer Sunday School.
I was lost with a broken heart. You picked me up, now I'm set apart. From the ash I am born again, forever safe in the Savior's hands. You are more than words could say. I follow you over all my days. Fix my eyes, follow in your ways. Forever free in an empty grace. 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh. In the midst of the darkest night, let your love be the shining light. Breaking chains that were holding me. You sent your son down to set me free. Everything of this world will fade. I'm pressing on till I see your face. I will live that your will be done. I won't stop till your kingdom come. 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh. You are my freedom. We lift you higher. You are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh.
Hi, boys and girls. We are going to be starting a brand new series for over the summer, and I'm really excited about it. We're going to be looking at Psalms 121, and we're going to read through that and break it down verse by verse each week and talk about what that means. So I'm really excited about this. The Psalms are a great place that you could be reading all by yourself. There's lots of them that are really short, like 8-10 verses, and you can read them. Many of them are praises to God or reminders that when we are having hard times, God is with us and He never leaves us. So there's some really great stuff there. So we're going to dive right in and read the verses together. Are you ready? So it says in Psalms 121, I look up to the mountains. Does my help come from there? My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not let you stumble. The one who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel never slumbers or sleeps. The Lord himself watches over you. The Lord stands beside you as your protective shade. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon at night. The Lord keeps you from all harm and watches over your life. The Lord keeps watch over you as you come and go, both now and forever. So that is Psalms 121. Now, I read that from the New Living Translation because that's the Bible I have with me. When we go through this summer, we're going to be reading through with the New International Version. And so maybe you've read this psalm before and you are familiar with that. That's what we're going to be looking through is the New International Version of Psalms 121. And I have a challenge for you. Over the course of the summer, like I said, we're going to be going through verse by verse, one verse each week, and looking at what it means. I would love to challenge each of you to memorize this psalm. You can memorize it in whichever version you have at home, whether that's the NIV or the New Living Translation or a children's version. Any version you've got is fine. And at the end of the summer, we're going to challenge you to memorize that. Send in us a video of you saying the verses. And that would be really cool because it is a great thing to hide God's word in our hearts. Oh, there's a train. So at the end of the summer, you can take that version of Psalms 121, whatever version you have, and send us a video of you saying the 8 verses. And it can be in whichever translation you have at home. That would be fine. And we're going to be excited to see that you have hidden God's word in your heart, because that is a great place for us to remember during hard times, during good times, that God is in control and that He is the one we can look to and protect us. So Psalms 121 is what we're focusing on this summer. It's going to be good.
When? Will Wade sink or really float? He sinks. Will it sink or will it float? Sinks.
Hey boys and girls, it is Miss Shalana, and you know what that means. It is time for us to do a very cool science experiment. So, this week we need 3 things and 3 things only. It's pretty simple. We need a glass. This is just water, so a glass filled with water. We need a piece of paper, and it doesn't even need to be this big because I'm actually going to end up folding this paper. So just a small piece of paper and a marker, and it can be any color marker you'd like. Mine is just plain old black, but maybe you have nice colorful markers that you can use. So those are the 3 things that we need for this experiment. The first thing that I'm going to do, because I have a big piece of paper, is I'm going to fold it into 4s. I'm going to fold it once, making it a quarter the original size. Fold it once and fold it again. If you just have a small piece of paper, that will work perfectly fine too, or you could cut it to make it smaller. So I'm going to make my page about this big. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an arrow on my piece of paper. So I'm going to draw an arrow here, line, and my arrowhead. Very simple. Even people like me who aren't gifted in art can draw an arrow. So I have my little arrow, okay? Now, what we are going to do is we are going to hold this arrow on one side of the glass, and we're going to look through the glass and see what happens, because something really interesting is going to happen to this arrow when we hold it on the glass and look through it. Okay, so we have our cup, I have my arrow, and I'm going to slide my arrow in behind my cup, and we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to slide it in behind. You see the paper emerge? There's our arrow. Do you see that? Look! It looks like the arrow is facing the other direction. Can you see that? Look, the arrowheads are facing like both directions, even though it should be facing just the one way. You see it there? Oh, there it is. So this is the experiment. See if I can move my camera over a bit so you can see it even better. This is what I want you to try at home. There's the arrowhead facing both directions. See if you can try this and get your arrows to switch directions when you do that. Pretty cool. Now, I wonder why this is happening. Wasn't that so neat? It looked like the arrow changed directions, even though it didn't change directions. But because we looked at it through the water, it looked like it changed directions. Now, my big question that I always like to ask is, what is happening? When light, that's what lets us see, when light passes through a different, we call it medium, when it passes through a different medium, it can bend. So right now as we're looking and as you're watching, we are seeing light pass through what's all around us? Air, right? It's clear, but there's air all around us. So the light passes through the air, usually, and we see the arrow this way. When we put it behind the cup, we actually are looking at it through a different medium. We're looking at it through the water. So when the light passes through the air to the water to the air again on the other side, it bends and makes it look like the arrow switches and faces the other direction. Isn't that so cool? It's so simple, but it's so interesting that it works like that. Now, hopefully you were able to try this one at home. This one's pretty simple. I want you to take it one step further though. I want you to try your own simple drawing, maybe on the other side of the page, and hold it behind your cup and see if you can get any other drawing to flip directions too. Maybe it'll be a little stick person or a bicycle or a little dog. See if you can draw something, hold it behind your cup, and see if you can get it to what we call refract. Refraction is what's actually taking place here. See if you can get that drawing to refract and look like it flipped the opposite direction. And if you do that, please send us a photo. We love to see all of your experiments that you're doing at home.